Ladies and gentlemen, the Armadacon play is about to start.
There's a last chance. Flee from the hills. Flee, you fools! Flee! Flee!
We shall not pass.
Oh, for goodness sake. Many years ago, Gary wrote a play called Captain Tornado. And this is the sequel, Captain Tornado. Again, it's a reboot. Who knows the reboot, the reimagining?
It's a CGI reboot.
Come here, butler. Move up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the radio play.
The Armadacon Press Gang Players presents a copyright infringement production of Captain Tornado Saves the Environment! Hooray! Don't be saying that for long. The story so far. There's been some strange occurrences with the weather. The polar ice caps have been freezing up. Torrential rain in the Sahara Desert. Britain getting a decent weather for once. And a complete lack of sharknadoes across the globe. Oh. These occurrences have not gone unnoticed by a certain environmentalist superhero and his young sidekick. We join them now, our heroes, in the more public guise of Lincoln Futura and his lodger, Billy No Mates. In episode 2, the CO2 hits the fan.
Well, Billy, these freakish weather occurrences are giving me cause for concern.
Why? They don't look like a good thing.
Wrong, Billy. The weather is completely out of kilter with normality. Anything that's not normal with the environment alerts my eco-radar.
What? Are you really trying to tell me that cooler, wetter weather here isn't a good thing? We've got lush green grass on the lawns. There's no water shortages. And I don't need to change the air conditioning switched on my auto.
It's not normal, Billy.
Who cares?
I do.
Look, think about it. Cooler weather means we don't have to use air conditioning in my Trans Am, which means less fuel, means being pumped into the atmosphere, means less CO2. Why would that not be a good thing?
If you had an electric automobile, Billy, you wouldn't emit any CO2.
Yeah, right. A Nissan Leaf is just what an auto with a long tailpipe. The electric gets generated by a power station which releases the CO2 for you.
Your auto pumps out an alarming amount of CO2, Billy. That's a greenhouse gas.
I can always take the catalytic converter off. That'll reduce CO2 emissions.
That will increase the carbon monoxide emissions, Billy. That's a pollutant. A pollution damages the environment. Saving the environment is our mission.
Saving my sanity is my mission.
These strange weather occurrences mean that the environment is in danger. This is a job for Captain Tornado!
Off you go then. I'm going to stay here and watch TV.
Don't be so modest, Billy. What would I do without my faithful sidekick, Whirlwind?
In the loony bin?
Come, Billy, to the Eco Cave!
Somewhere elsewhere in Gothamville, practitioners of science were at work.
I have just received a report from Ethiopia. The 3 days of rain that they've had means there is a 50% reduction of a possibility of famine this year.
Excellent, Professor. Schedule the satellites to transfer 5% of the monsoons in Bangladesh to Ethiopia. That way will reduce the flooding in one country and increase crop yields in the other.
Plus, we will save lives in both countries.
Correct, Professor.
I shall begin plotting the new satellite coordinators now.
Meanwhile, in an underground cave at Stately Futura Manor, Captain Tornado and Whirlwind are sifting through the clues to the strange weather phenomena.
Well, Whirlwind, according to the Enviroscope, the weather changes have been happening in pairs.
What? So if it's raining in one place, it's not raining elsewhere?
Correct.
It sounds pretty normal to me.
It's certainly not normal, Whirlwind. Where it should be raining, it's dry. Where it should be dry, it's wet.
I'm still seeing a problem.
The natural weather patterns have been upset. Feed the Enviroscope's data into the eco-computer.
You mean the out-of-date CO2 belcher?
Recycling Commodore VIC-20s is good for the environment, Whirlwind. That includes the 100-year-old coal-fired generator that powers it.
Well, you can thank President Trump for allowing coal mining.
recycling.
You'd be better off hooking the hamster up to a dynamo.
A hamster wouldn't be able to run fast enough to generate the required power.
I don't know. Slip me some LSD and watch you go schizo.
Hamsters produce methane. That's a pollutant.
You're just no fun.
Elsewhere, scientific progress is being made.
The satellites have now been locked into position.
Excellent, Professor. According to my calculations, a 10-second burst of your nuclear oscillators will alter the air pressure over the target areas, thus changing the localized weather.
The instructions have been uploaded. May I say that your theory has been well and truly proven.
Oh, thank you, Professor.
There could be a Nobel Prize in this for you.
I cannot take all of the credit, Professor, even though I deserve it. If it wasn't for your invention, none of this would have been possible.
You're too kind. By the way, a forest fire has broken out in Southern California. I suggest transferring the current Bermudian tropical rainstorm to that location.
Excellent thinking, Professor. A torrential downpour over the forest should put out the fire and reduce deforestation. It's tourist season in Bermuda, so another hot sunny day would be most welcome.
I shall reprogram the satellites as soon as I have your calculations.
Back at the Eco Cave, the Eco Computer has spat out its report. Whirlwind hands it to Captain Tornado.
Hooray!
My suspicions environmentally have been confirmed, Whirlwind. This eco readout indicates the weather has been moved from one place to another.
So, like the sun being across the sky, or the clouds being blown about and raining stuff?
Not quite, Whirlwind. Two areas of normal weather are being swapped around. This cooler, wetter weather we're currently getting belongs in Canada.
So the Canadians are getting some hot, sunny weather? Good for them.
It's envirovandalism, Whirlwind. Tinkering with the weather is bad for the planet. The criminals behind this must be stopped.
I'm not really on board with this, because, I kind of think the only thing criminal here is you trying to stop it. This is great.
Whirlwind, we need to find out which insane eco-criminal is responsible for eco-crimes. Good place to start. Looking in Gotham's leading authority on the weather, Bob Lutz.
And what harm exactly can Bob Lutz do? He's an ex-storm chaser, not a weather fiddler.
He may not be criminally involved, Whirlwind, but he may know who is. To the Ecomobile!
At the laboratory, there was some concern as to the future of the weather project.
There is one thing that bothers me. Why, Captain Tornado, do you think he would approve of our efforts?
Tornado is a fool! His environmental arguments are unbalanced, as is his mind. He decries China for being the most polluting country on the planet, but neglects to mention that the US corporations buy carbon credits from other countries, so America can pollute even more!
But we're not causing or reducing any pollution. Why would Captain Tornado take any interest in us if he was interested?
Because he's a bloody loony. Sorry, because he's a deranged environmentalist and a bloody loony. What we're doing is changing the localized climate. But as far as Tornado is concerned, we're global climate changers, like that fool Trump.
But what we're doing is saving lives and benefiting humanity.
Tornado doesn't think like that. He's the sort of person who'd force everyone to turn vegetarian tomorrow in order to reduce the methane produced by cattle. Little does he know that the methane cycle has been part of the Earth's ecosphere since the first herbivores.
If we all turned vegetarian tomorrow anyway, the cattle would still exist and they'd still be fighting. A lot.
I think you now understand how unbalanced Tornado's arguments and his mind is.
So he's not threatening.
Don't worry about Captain Tornado, Professor Creek. I have plans for him if he shows his face here.
Meanwhile, Captain Tornado and Whirlwind have arrived at Gothamville Meteorological Office to see Bob Lutz.
Captain Tornado, what brings you here?
We need information, Mr. Lutz. Someone has been tinkering with the weather.
Great, isn't it? It's storm season and nothing has happened.
I'm with him there.
The environment is in danger from this eco-meddling.
They can meddle all they want. I've stopped chasing storms after that sharknado we had a year or so ago.
Mr. Lutz, you've obviously noted there's been some strange occurrences in the weather patterns.
Yes, and I'm loving it.
Sound like a McDonald's advert.
Who would have the ability to manipulate the weather?
I can only think of one person. She had a theory some time ago. It involved inducing pressure differentials in the weather systems. The theory was sound, but getting it to work was another matter.
Just who is this eco-vandal?
Tsunami.
Well, she gets my vote. Agree, Whirlwind, she gets my vote as a suspect.
Close but no banana.
We have a who, but not a how. I suspect another person may be involved.
For what it's worth, Professor Frink has left Gothenville University. Apparently, he was headhunted by some weather scientist.
I wonder if there's a connection.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is too, but it's between your brain and reality.
Come, Whirlwind! We're going to Gothenville University to get more clues. To the Eco-Mobile!
Just, why did we stop chasing storms?
Ever seen a sharknado? Bad CGI.
Sometime later, the Ecomobile arrives at Gothenville University. Both Captain Tornado and Whirlwind are ushered into the office of Dean Spacco.
Captain Tornado, Whirlwind, what brings you to this sheet of learning?
We're making inquiries into Professor Frink.
You look vaguely familiar.
Professor Frink, he left us some time ago. He had that job offer that's too good to pass out. We do miss him.
What did Professor Frink do here?
You have twin brother? No?
Professor Frink taught satellite design. He had quite a pedigree. We managed to get him from NASA when Reagan's Star Wars program was closing down.
Do you know what work he did on that program?
Hey, look. You a clone?
He invented the nuclear oscillator. It was designed to find the resonant frequency of an incoming missile and destroy it through harmonic vibrations.
I wonder if a nuclear oscillator can be used to influence the weather.
It's not just me that seems right. You are wearing the same clothes, right?
Yeah, indeed, it can. Before he left, Professor Frink gave a demonstration that ended rather badly.
What went wrong?
Professor Frink tried to make it rain, but summoned a sharknado.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, there's certainly something thickening up here. It's not necessarily the plot.
Thank you for your cooperation, Dean. Come, Whirlwind, back to the Eco Cave.
Well, hang on, wait. We come up over here and it could have stayed at home. Just how much energy is wasted with the stupid car every time we have to like building out CO2 that didn't need to be there. God damn it, you're a prat.
Back at the laboratory, Tsunami and Professor Frink mull over the events that brought them together.
Tell me, Professor, how come the Star Wars project was abandoned?
Two reasons. Firstly, the Iron Curtain fell, so the satellites became redundant. Needed a new job somewhere. Secondly, a test firing on an obsolete satellite caused the target to shatter. The resulting orbital debris took months to fall back to Earth, and dodging the International Space Station whilst it was doing it.
Ah, I see. If you shatter an incoming Soviet missile, you couldn't launch one of our own, as it would be hit by the debris and destroyed itself.
Correct! The two satellites were then shut down and forgotten, hopefully forever.
If it wasn't for that incident with the sharks, I wouldn't have known about yourself. My theory would have remained just that.
Ah, yes.
Theory.
Yes, an unfortunate incident, but it seems a pity to waste the satellites. Turning them from weapons of war to instruments for the betterment of humanity was an opportunity too good to waste. The last thing I wanted was another Sharknado.
Now there's a successful film franchise based on that incident.
Asylum should ought to be paying you royalties for that film.
Bastards.
Meanwhile, Captain Tornado and Whirlwind have returned to the Eco Cave.
Well, Whirlwind, we have one scientist with a weather control theory. We also have another scientist who's an expert in satellites. What are the chances they're working together to hold the world to ransom?
No problem. As long as they're turning out nice weather, who gives a monkeys?
It's eco-vandalism, Whirlwind. The environment is in danger, and we must stop it.
What? So you're telling me that rather than them doing that, you'd actually prefer endless flooding, famines, and other foul weather?
It's natural weather, Whirlwind.
Seriously, somebody should give you a kick up the arse.
Climate change is one of the world's greatest problems, Whirlwind.
Yeah, right, and in the 1970s it was all about the coming ice age, and the 1990s about global warming. Now it's about climate change. Can you just make your bloody mind up?
Feed this new data into the eco-computer, Whirlwind. If Tsunami and Professor Frank are capable of changing the weather, then we'll have our enviro criminals.
Sure, I've got nothing better to do.
Whirlwind feeds the data into the eco-computer.
So this is going to take some time. Apparently a VIC-20 only has
Big.
The VIC-20.
He's a child.
He's too young.
He also doesn't give a shit. Apparently only has 3.5k of memory. Seriously, who the hell built this thing?
Commodore.
Well, that explains a
That
great deal.
says a lot.
2 hours later, the eco-computer spits out its report. Whirlwind hands it to Captain Tornado.
This report confirms that Whirlwind Tsunami is using Professor Frank's nuclear oscillators to manipulate the weather. The only place they can do it is from Gotham University. To the Ecomobile!
You did remember to recharge it when we got back from university, right?
No, didn't you?
Screw this, we'll take my Trans Am.
It emits CO2, Whirlwind. It's eco-unfriendly.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you're a prick!
3 hours later, the Nissan Leaf is fully recharged.
Okay, we're good to go.
To the Ecomobile!
Sometime later, Captain Tornado and Whirlwind arrive at the gatehouse of the Gothamville Observatory.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I see some identification?
This is an emergency. The environment is in danger.
What? You again? Come on, not just me!
The environment is in danger. Not from where I'm stood, sir.
What do you mean where you're get around a bit?
Don't you recognize the guardians of the environment?
Yes, sir, but I'll still need to see some identification.
Don't be absurd, man. Superheroes cannot get identity papers without revealing their true identities.
I tell her how the terrorists did 9/11.
They're criminals, Whirlwind.
We're trying to stop Tsunami and Professor Frank from changing the weather. Is criminal?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't let you pass without seeing some sort of identification.
Here, how about this?
Whirlwind hands the guard some papers.
Very good, sir. I'll open the gate for you.
If anybody asks, you're Benjamin Franklin, I'm George Washington.
Bribe the guard.
Maybe better ideas.
Needs are as needs must. Onwards, Whirlwind, before it's too late!
Unseen by our heroes, the guard makes a phone call to the laboratory.
I just had a report from the gate guard.
Anything interesting?
Captain Tornado is approaching.
Surprise, surprise. The eco-fool is paying us a visit. Come on.
I trust you are ready for him.
Of course, Professor. Intelligence will always defeat stupidity. And he has that in spades.
Captain Tornado can't be that stupid.
Frank, if you were a superhero, would you really drive a Nissan Leaf?
I take your point.
Suddenly, Captain Tornado and Whirlwind burst into the laboratory.
Well, if it isn't President Washington Franklin.
You were expecting us then?
I think she called us was a bit of a clue, numbnuts.
Your ego meddling is at an end. We're here to shut you down.
Just how do you intend to accomplish this?
By giving you the truth about climate change.
Oh, Christ, here we go.
America is no longer the world's greatest polluter.
Biff,
Only because it's been overtaken by China? Thud!
America recycles more household waste than anyone else.
Smack.
President Bush withdraws from the Kyoto Protocol.
Kapow!
America signs up to the Paris Agreement.
Ouch!
And President Trump withdraws from it. Whack!
I drive a Nissan Leaf.
Lame.
And that just about sums up your argument, fool.
Away, Whirlwind, away! Get reinforcements! Tsunami's argument is too strong to be overcome by ourselves. With your super fast speed, you'll be able to get eco-help in no time.
Well, that's the best thing you've said all day. I'm out of here. See you later.
In a blinding flash of whirring legs, Whirlwind departs the laboratory in a funky Scooby-Doo fashion.
Zoinks!
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
So long, suckers!
Now, Captain Tornado, you will die of embarrassment.
10 nanoseconds later, Whirlwind arrives at a pub.
Good afternoon, sir. What can I get you?
Fuck it, I'll just have a pint of water and a new pair of glasses.
Well, I'm not a politician, sir. Your eyesight's no concern of mine. Well, unless of course you're blind drunk.
I've not been drinking. I've just seen multiple versions of you all day.
There's a reason for that, sir.
Oh? And that would be?
The budget on this play.
That explains a lot.
Anyway, what brings you here, sir?
Well, Captain Tornado's on a tight spot and needs help.
So, drinking a bottle of bourbon is helping, sir?
Yep, I'll get paralytic pass out, and the time I sober up, the prep will be dead, and we can continue to enjoy this decent weather.
Well, Whirlwind sober up in time and save Captain Tornado. Can Captain Tornado survive being embarrassed to death? What weather patterns will Tsunami and Professor Freak alter next? Did anyone really notice that the same person played multiple characters? Tune in next time in here.
Oh God, I got a mouth like a skunk's butt.
Shut up, Tornado! The propaganda that spews from your mouth is nothing more than noise pollution!
Have you seen the film An Inconvenient Truth?
I have. It was being recycled as landfill.
That's it. I'm out of here. I'm back to being typecast.
All this and more in the next exciting episode of Captain Tornado Saves the Environment!
We'd like to announce that actually very few people read the script before this production, as is the tradition with Armadacon radio plays.
I did!
And you still fucking
Yeah,
up a
you
couple of times.